So I'm the chair for TPN Minnesota, and tonight is TPN night. I'm joined here by my co-chair.
Again, my name is Lily Rahane. I'm the vice chair of TPN Minnesota. We started TPN here about earlier this year, the goal of which is to create a network of Tagalog youth and help them in their personal and professional development. We host a variety of different events throughout the year. We have a monthly social where we give a chance for Tagalog youth in the area to come together, socialize, network. We've had resume workshops. We have a college tour coming up the last week of July, I believe. We also have a scholarship that the community has funded that will allow a few lucky participants to receive some money to help them pursue their academic endeavors.
Thank you. So we have a lovely program tonight. We have an excellent keynote speaker for tonight that we're going to introduce. Her name is Fortuna Gebrselassie, a Hollywood speaker, and she wants to share some words with you all. So please give a round of applause for Fortuna Gebrselassie.
Am I heard? I'm heard. Hello. How are we doing today? I know it's a loaded question. There was a lot going on today. But I'm really thankful for everybody being here. Really happy to see you all. And I want to use my Hollywood tone and see if I can quiet the room a little bit as much as we can. I would love to have a conversation with you guys. It's a little heavier than what you might be used to from me in social media, but it's one that we need to have. So, you guys ready?
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Fortuna Gebrselassie. I am a Tigrayan American actor, writer, producer, creative director, and overall filmmaker that is known for making my way into Hollywood. You clap now, but that was before I put Mommy on social media and she became so much bigger than me and now nobody knows me anymore, so. But I love it, honestly, having her on there. It's one of my most favorite experiences. And it wasn't intentional when we started. It was just fun and games, but our now more publicized relationship, I'm hoping that it'll encourage more of our parents to be more open, to be more playful, to joke more with their kids, because we need it. You know, now more than ever, as we embark on the healing and the rehabilitation process, not of just the last 3 to 4 or 5 years of the trauma magnitude, but the last decades that we never just had any sort of time or opportunity to really heal and grow from. Now, one thing that I find really funny about my public persona is I've become known as the girl that's always laughing, always happy. That's just her name. تفطرة كويو، تفطرة تعدي له يبهل. نعم تفطرة. Who? Not me. تفطرة by nature خرافية. قولت أمانيني كابا زعل عليها but still. It's a choice. The joy and the happiness is a choice that I make. And it's one that by nature, I'm inclined to make. Goodness, all of us as humans. If we have the option, wouldn't we choose happiness? Wouldn't we choose joy? Wouldn't we choose love? Isn't that what we all work so hard for? But it's much easier by nature for me to be quicker to anger than it is happiness. And you guys saw it. Uncle Mulu and Hermes, you saw a little bit. I had to go back to my hotel. I had to reground myself. So to combat, a lot of it is also a trauma response. It's a learned behavior from experiencing a lot of different unsafe life experiences. But to combat it, I work on practicing joy and gratitude so it can reground me and let me see the beautiful people in front of me and be grateful to be here with you and be appreciative of the life that we have. In many ways, I grew up in a very traditional, typical Habesha household. Education is king, right under God. It's normal to drink coffee 3 times a day, and we say it's not an addiction. It's an addiction. Somebody understands? Where the most commonly served tzapi is not shuro, it's tzapi. You guys know what I'm talking about. Back home, they wake up to what? The roosters. We wake up to what? Tzapi. It's our appetizer in the morning. And then for breakfast, more tzapi. I see you laughing. I know you understand. But unfortunately, if I'm being very honest, which I'm gonna be very honest tonight, I also grew up in a very toxic and crippling household. One that was very verbally, emotionally, physically, and sexually abusive. One that taught me at a very young age, I don't always have to tell the truth. That being poor is safer. That limiting my dreams and my interests and my goals would actually protect me. And when I stepped outside of my particular household, and I observed the various Habesha communities that my family spent time with, in many ways, not all, but in many it was an extension of the same thing. Their favorite hobbies were lying and gossiping, cheating and boasting and name-calling and manipulating. People who didn't even like each other spent hours, days, weeks, months together, going to everybody's events and observing and monitoring what they were doing. It's like this weird social thing where everybody tried to make themselves look better than the other. But everybody was on the same boat. We were all on government assistance or barely able to hang on. And I didn't get it. I didn't understand why. And I didn't like it either. Because there was always a heaviness in my chest when I was uncertain of when the next pain was going to come. And to make it worse, we couldn't even talk about it. Like, we have this really weird cultural, social rule that we created as people. It's not even I checked completely. But somehow we got intertwined and it became to feel like it. And now I feel like it's ruining really our developmental capacity. Like, take the topic of shame, for example. We misuse that word so many times. Why is it so shameful to talk about our pain? Especially more often than not when we do so, it's because we're seeking help. Like, if someone is hurting you in any way, right? And let's say something as extreme as sexual abuse or assault. Instead of calling the person that's doing the abusing out and holding them accountable for their shameful actions, we shame the victim into silence and suppression as if they're the ones that committed the crime. I'm talking in the home, outside of the home, the setting doesn't matter. Nobody wants to talk about it. I'm sure even now you're probably uncomfortable that I'm talking about it. And I understand that. But it seems like we care more about protecting our image than we do our people. No to call you. What are people gonna say? It's not the time. It's gonna bring shame and dishonor to the family. But let's be honest, what kind of shame or what kind of honor do you think you can possibly have if you can't protect your own people? If you're too scared to speak up for them? This is our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our granddaughters, your niece, your cousin, your aunt we're talking about. All because of some little word that some people that you might not even like or respect might say behind your back. And then like nothing happened. Why? Why do you want to be in the company of people who don't actually care about you or protect you the way that they need to? Now, I was 11 years old trying to understand this. I couldn't. And because I couldn't make sense of it, I got really frustrated. I got really angry. I started to not trust anybody around me. I became very resentful until I realized very heartbrokenly that this is not a safe space for me. I can't be here. So what did I do? I removed myself from the community. I left as far as humanly possible. I went to New York. And I spent the rest of my time subconsciously until I became more mature, trying to find a real sense of community where people actually shared the same values of love and protection and honor and integrity and righteousness and practiced them as best as we could. And honestly, I found that. Not only that, I got to create it. I got to contribute and learn and grow from it. And really, that's the only reason why I stand before you today. My heart is not too hardened. I'm sane enough. But I got really, really lucky. I had the privilege of choosing to let go of what wasn't serving me anymore, to leave my environment and to find a different one, settle in a new one where I could create as many communities as I wanted, with as many different people as I wanted. People that might or might not look like me, that might or might not come from the same country or share the same cultural or faithful values. But inherently, we share the same fundamental human values of seeking love and nurture and communityship. And it developed a very strong root that we all now experience what kind of branch and lineage we develop. Now that's my privilege, right? And that's many of ours. But what about our innocent brothers and sisters back home who don't have that privilege? Who don't have the same access to various platforms